Couple of stories to bring you guys to do with Jaguar Land Rover. We've been covering this developing story quite a bit here on the Motoring Chronicle over the last few weeks or so. The basic TLDR so far is that Jaguar Land Rover were hacked by an unknown and yet unidentified cyber hacking group. They have had to stop their production as a result. Some people have come and claimed they were responsible for this. Allegedly, it's a bunch of teenagers, effectively. Allegedly, it could be the same people that hacked Marks and Spencer's earlier this year as well. Allegedly, it could be state-sponsored. We don't know yet. We don't know all the facts when it comes to this yet, although I'm sure MI6 and their cyber team are very much trying to find that out if they don't already know themselves at the moment. Now, the knock-on effect for this is absolutely massive. Not only for Jaguar Land Rover, who have lost anywhere between 50 and 100 million pounds already in revenue. Of course, their factory being closed for this amount of time, it's got a huge knock-on effect in terms of suppliers, some suppliers for them. I mean, this is a whole ecosystem effectively in the local economies over there. You know, these businesses could well go out of business. They have already laid off hundreds of people, and thousands could lose their jobs because of this. And let's be real here, it's just Land Rover, because Jaguar, they're not making any new cars at the moment. They're going through that very controversial rebrand, of course, but Land Rover are massive. You know, the Land Rovers and the Range Rovers, they sell thousands of them things every single day pretty much. So let's have a look, guys, because, yeah, disruption could go all the way until November. But first, let's have a look at what a Member of Parliament has been saying here in the UK as well, specifically Liam Byrne. Shout out to the BBC News for covering this story, as always. Not a positive one at all, I'm afraid, in this case. So Liam Byrne is the chair of the Commons Business and Trade Committee and Labour Member of Parliament for Birmingham Hodge Hill and North Solihull. And he said, quote, "We fear if the government doesn't step up soon, people will be laid off in their thousands," end quote. The firm said on Tuesday factory production would not resume until the 24th of September. Now, we knew the news was going to come in as to whether they were going to restart or not on Tuesday, and they are not going to restart for at least another week. So that is a lot more lost revenue as a result. The hack happened more than 2 weeks ago and has forced the company to shut down computer systems and halt production. Though some have warned disruption could last until November, JLR described this as pure speculation. Production lines were paused on the 1st of September when the hack came to light. The shutdown is believed to be costing the firm, which has factories in Solihull, Castle Bromwich and Halewood, an engine facility in Wolverhampton and plants overseas, at least £50 million per week. The company has not revealed how much damage was caused, but a criminal investigation has begun. On top of that as well, guys, data was allegedly leaked as well. And if you go off the alleged screenshots taken from the alleged hackers in this case as well, they were able to get into the internal IT systems of Jaguar Land Rover, which would almost certainly mean that data has been compromised. JLR said it had delayed restarting production as forensic investigation of the cyber incident continued, and it considered a controlled restart of global operations. Burns said he had written to the Chancellor to request a COVID-style emergency help for suppliers, a furlough scheme, basically. Saying, quote, "This is not a mere flicker on the screen at Jaguar Land Rover. This is a digital siege, and it sent a cyber shockwave through their supply chain. We think this is an attack which is much, much worse than the attack that took down Marks and Spencer's." End quote. He also went on to say, with more of these types of attacks happening, the government needed to act as a backstop to a different insurance system to help firms, which was not already in place. Meanwhile, the West Midlands Mayor, Richard Parker, said that the attack was having a massive impact on JLR and the supply chain. He said he wanted to reassure people that he was talking to the business secretary, the Chancellor, Jaguar Land Rover and unions, and, quote, "We have a good understanding of the issues which need to be resolved," end quote. He added the firm was working with the government, collating and collecting the impacts of the shutdown on business across the supply chain, and to develop the best approaches about intervening to help them over the next few weeks and months. I mean, there's no smoke without fire. That rumour about November, I hope to God it is not true, but I wouldn't rule it out. Marks and Spencer's, their online systems were down for a long, long time, I think a good few months or so, so that would put it on a par with that. And going off of some of the quotes there, this is much worse, apparently, than what happened to Marks and Spencer's. And it is a a company that probably relies on its IT systems even more, in a sense, than Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's could fall back on the old ways effectively, mainly because, they don't need to register if you buy, I don't know, a bag of crisps from them or something like that, or a nice shirt. It's different with Jaguar Land Rover because they need to legally register these vehicles once they've been sold. There's a lot of paperwork and admin. Someone on the tills at Marks and Spencer, they don't need to fill out a health and safety form every time you buy something from them. It's different. So, yeah, this could be really bad. I mean, it is really bad. We know it is, but it could get worse for them. And I hope it doesn't, and I hope the people's jobs stay safe. But, yeah, not positive. A bad story for British industry when it is really on its knees right now. It's the last thing it needed, really. It really, really is. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below about all this. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more like this. And hopefully some more positive updates from JLR are on the way soon.